Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Sundazed and Confused. This is number 108. My wife is here with me, and we'd like to wish everybody a very happy St. Paddy's Day.
Cheers, everyone. Happy St. Paddy's Day. It's a great excuse to smoke some cannabis. Why? Because it's magically delicious.
That's right. And it's green.
And it's green, my favorite color.
There's the link if anybody wants to join.
Hope everybody is having a great blazed up day. Ice and I first in the house, followed by Jenny McGlaze. Cheers, Artman, Sheldon Estes. How's it going? G-Bay, Genetics. It's good to see everybody. Haas Farms, Chew Leaf, Chiba Man, Thunder Dan, Galaxy Solutions, Anova. I don't want to leave anybody out. I love you all. You're awesome. Can't think of a better way to spend this holiday than with our awesome friends.
St. Paddy's Day. I found out recently that Irish people don't like when you write it with T's. They like D's. I guess that's supposed to be the correct spelling. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've known a few people that claim to be Irish, and they've said that the Paddy with the T is not the correct way. So, Artman, how you doing?
Chicken patties, not come on,
Yeah.
wrong patties.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll have you know, my grandmother's name was Foley, and she was directly from Ireland, and she talked like this, you know.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Great grandmother. I'm sorry, great grandmother. So
well,
anyway.
Dan, that ruins my next thing because I was going to give the Irish people a little ribbing. Aren't they the ones that almost completely got wiped out by a tomato famine?
Potatoes.
No, it's potato, but
Yeah,
Monoculture.
don't be
Killed
dishing
them.
that.
Yeah, the Irish, they only had one crop and it got a blight and it wiped it out. I guess that's a good cautionary tale for growing only one strain, huh?
If you're gonna eat it, for sure.
Yeah.
We got
Anyway.
20 people here. It's nice to see everybody. I just want to see what we go over, show them our little plants.
Our tiny little plants. These are the
Hell yeah.
the plants that got the pardon from the warden. They were on death row, but we saved them.
The one on the right's the one I picked about probably 12, 15 sacks off of over the course of like 3-4 days. I haven't found any more now, but I keep my eyes peeled. I'm sure I'll miss one, fuck everything up, but we'll see. Keep my eyes on it. The other one on the left's doing pretty good. It hasn't given us any issues at all, really. And it's in the solo cup. So the one on the right's in the 1 gallon, one on the left's in the solo cup. They're under 100 watts now. They're about 700s in the middle there, the hot spot, and it dips off real quick once you get outside the footprint of that light.
But these plants are used to having like
Low light.
low light, because I mean you can clearly see the size of them. They were.
But I walked them back in.
Yeah,
I started them on half strength, went to 80, then to 100%, and I think that kind of helped them a little bit. Cheers, Ice and I. How you doing, buddy?
Cheers! Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Thank you. Good. Thanks. Hope everyone's having a good weekend.
Hey, buddy.
Cheers up, man.
Hey, you noticed the lower leaves on that right side look real shitty. They got all chewed up. When we was feeding it runoff, they started to go. And then I stopped giving it runoff, started giving it good newts, a week ago or so?
Yeah.
And they still haven't, I'm not expecting them to get better, but they still look like crap. Like they just, they won't even perk up. I'm not expecting them to lose the necrotic shit or anything, obviously, but I was hoping they'd perk up. They just stay like that. I don't know what's going on with it. If it has a little bit of root damage, if I let it dry back that one time way too much, it was like droopy and shit. I didn't water it for a couple of days. So we'll see, but I still see how they're big families too. Some of them's being real dicks. Hey, there's Chiba Man too. What's up, brother?
What's up?
Cheers.
What's up? Lights just went off a second ago, so I forgot to turn it back on for a second. Put everybody in their little DWC pot. I put a little wrap on them, to try to insulate it somewhat. I got to take them out of here. This is my little isolation tent. Now I learned my lesson from my last girl. Got to isolate stuff and get everything set up. Got a little issue here. I've been easing up on the newts, so I got a little brown tip on one or two of them, but we're getting them good. Got to get the color back because they were on a high pH for about 3 or 4 days. I just realized that. So, but this is it was the grow center last week. I showed you guys they were in a small little they were in a small bucket last week, and I just put them in
Yeah.
their individual buckets this week. So yeah, we're doing good, doing much better, much better. Got some issues. I know I got some bag or something going on, but I'll get it right once I get the newts back in check, get the pH and everything right, get them out of here and get them in the room. I just wanted to come and see where we at so far.
Right on, man. Yeah, pH is a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. But I
But
was just
here's
watching to make sure I ain't had no bug issues and no other crap,
oh
and
yeah.
seeing how well the installation wraps. I still need to wrap the tops, but just want to see what goes and whatnot. But we're doing good. Just wanted to come and show.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
You're doing great. And with your style growing, when you have an issue with pH or something goes off, it easily comes right back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'll get it fixed. No doubt. Just wanted to come and show what was going on. All right, let me go ahead and turn my lights back off and everything.
See you, buddy.
All right, Garth. I'll be in chat.
Have a good one.
Peace. No doubt. All right, people.
Thank you for coming on. That was cool. I like to see his plants. That's nice that we catch them right on the top cusp.
Yeah.
We can see them weekly. That's pretty awesome. Thank you.
His system of growing pH, having pH constantly in line is nice. You have no microbial buffer or anything like you would in soil. And it shows up quick when you're in DWC. It shows up quick, and it also goes away quick if you can pinpoint it immediately. And
oh yeah,
I won this Supreme Grape ask, can you pot uppers at the solo challenge? I just want to let them know because they probably think we're nuts growing those plants. Like we popped.
That's me. I'll take the blame for
Long story short, Supreme, we popped 6 plants, 6 seeds to put 4 in a 4x4. Well, they all come up, 2 were left over, and they stayed in these little pots while the rest of them were doing better and were more advanced. They got potted up and kept in the big tent. These ones were under the canopy in the corner, and they were just kind of getting ready to either get thrown away or whatever. So we put them under this little 100-watt light, and we flipped the light schedule from their normal nighttime. We flipped to their normal daytime, and we wanted to see how stressful that was for the plant, especially since they was already 2 weeks into flower mode under the other light schedule. So that's the reason for the nanners, my belief on the one, or the sacks or whatever we're calling them these days. I picked them all off, but that's why I haven't potted them up or anything. We're gonna finish them out and see what they do. This is also, let me say this: we've been doing the one solo cup. If you look at our last grow, we flowered out a solo cup and a couple other grows.
And the grow before that, and then the grow before that.
Any leftovers that we don't pot up, we kind of just put them in the corner, maybe give them runoff and shit just to kind of let them go. It's like no harm, no foul. You're lighting that area anyhow. You might as well throw something in it. So, what this is built up to is me really wanting to do like 24 plants in that 4x4 and just sog them, kind of like you see this one plant on the left here. Now, obviously, a true sog does not have any topping or anything, so it wouldn't be topped like this plant. It would just be straight up. Take a couple lowers off and just fill up the net, man, with a bunch of little ones. Easy trimming. We'll go over that. Why I think a sog is a great idea for me. Let me just imply there. For me, it's a great idea. And let's go look at some of these isonide plants here. Then we'll get we're going in reverse today. We went with Chiba. We'll go with isonide, came second. We'll do art.
I'm good. I'm good anyway. I'd like to see let's see what he's got.
When people filter in, we can go back around and do them again if you guys want to.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, isonide.
Yeah, this one here is like the platinum asset. I'm liking the structure and everything on this one. It's something pretty good, isn't it? If I do say so myself. This is the one that I just put a lot of clips on, basically, and as you can see, that's stacked up all the way around. which is pretty nice. There's no support on here either. The only thing I'm a little bit is all the red stem, if you notice.
Yep.
You know, I'm not quite sure exactly what that is, whether it's the new LED and like the needs, I don't know, but it's coming on fine. I just gave this a little taste of some chitinaise and some insect fraise. So hopefully this is now gonna frost up and bulk out. Still got a bit of time left on it.
Hey, Asan, you know what I found out? Well, this is what I've been observing anyhow. We'll have some plants also to get that purple stem. But then when you harvest and you cut those big buds off, everywhere there was a bud, it's nice and green. So a lot of times I feel like it's not a nutritional defect or a nutritional deficiency, I mean, versus some sort of like anthocyanin light protection. But I can never tell the difference. I heard Brandon Russ say one time that if you look closely, two plants, one that's a natural kind of anthocyanin will be purple, and the one that's deficient will have more of a red or pinkisher hue to it. I've never witnessed that myself. I can't see the difference, you know, but that's been coming up a lot. The pink stem, purple stem, does it go away? Does it stay? Does do your petioles that are down low turn purple like the ones up top?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a light response, because you know as you go further down the plant, it's not as pronounced, and when it starts off, as you can see here, you can see it's on the top of the leaf, but if you was to turn it over, it's completely green, where it hasn't received no light. So it is a response, but is the plant responding because it hasn't? It's lacking in something else that would offer it the protection, or is this the protection that it is offering? I'm a little bit on the fence on that one at the moment, because some plants just don't respond like that. They'll just take it, and I don't know whether it's the nutrition. Now, like I can say on this one here, you know, you can see the red stems, but as I've come up the top, the nutrition's got better, and they've gone back to green. You'd expect them being further up the top to be more red.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's move on from that.
Good observation.
Cool.
Look at the sawtooth on
We
that.
do that all the time too. Make those observations.
And run them through, hit a brick wall,
Yeah.
and move on to the next one. Huh? That's a monster there.
Those are fat leaves.
Is that one been sexed
sure.
yet? Do you know? Is that a feminized?
That's a fem, yeah. So, yeah, these are what I call dinner plates.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is the Milky Dreams from Greenhouse Seeds. I'm now about. It's been in it under 12 and 12 for one day, but yeah, I reckon it's gonna explode as soon as this sort of, you know, give it a couple of days under this 12 and 12. It's looking all nice and healthy. We've got nice green petioles still. Coming round again. But these ones here were the Amiaces crossed with Persian pie, and these are all now turned out to be females. So this one I'm a little bit dubious about, and I'm sure this is a trait with the Amiaces. I noticed that on everything that's come from the Amy, and I think I might have noticed it on the Amy's. I can't really get it on this camera here, but occasionally you'll get a little flower set that starts off looking like a male because it grows a little stick. underneath
Well,
it.
that does look like I'd have plucked that off a long time ago. And I'd never been able to see it through to learn that, you know?
Yeah, Smart does that. He'll go and be like, I'm not sure what this is, but it's gone.
It's gone now.
See you later, sayonara.
But they're, I'm pretty sure they're just female flowers.
Yeah, some of them do get that weird shape to them, but it's always that little stick that kind of gives it away. And if it's down on that area right there, I always notice that little stick kind of. But then if it's up towards the terminal ends, it seems like it hides that little stick. You have to notice the front half of the thing sticking out. You know,
Right. What
easy to miss.
My other fear, I'll let this go now until I see multiples. If I see one nut or one thing that looks like a nut, I'll let it go until I see it. If it starts growing more than one nut, I can pretty much guarantee. Yeah, you can see that now there.
Yeah. Boy, that's with the long tip on it is what gets me crazy. But I don't actually see a pistol either.
No,
I don't have the greatest of view, but it almost looks like that's a weird.
so
Definitely something to keep your eye on.
So I'm going to let that go. But the rest of them, that was the only one out of all these ones that I started that I got that. But I'm sure that's in the Amiaceas anyways. But the pre-flowers can look a little bit weird, can be misleading as to whether they're boys or girls. Anyways, this is I think this is Agnes's Beckett's cross of the TK cross lime cross back cross lime and that one NL5.
That's a hell of a tag to put on your plant, huh?
Yeah, it's got some nice thin leaf on this one. So a little bit of a mixture. I don't know what's got. I think it might be a little bit heavy on the nitrogen, whether it's my original mix that I put in. You can see that little downward curl there. I normally associate that with a little bit heavy on the end. I'll let that dry back, I think, and that might correct itself and spring back up. I haven't checked the VPD in the room actually, so that might be another thing worth checking. So next one, I think this is a Jilly Bean cross blueberry muffin. That's another one from Agnes again.
Cheers to Agnes.
And this one is a Gelato 33 cross the root beer freeze. And yeah, I'm not sure who the breeder is on that, but it's got some good genetics in there. And I think this is another TK cross TK Doodah. I'll just whack that one straight into the living soil instead of doing my new method, which I'm going to probably stick with, but I just want to just throw one into the bed and have a little bit of a comparison side by side.
Right on. It's nice to see that. I got some colors on that one. These aren't all the same age, huh?
No,
they come in and walk their way through. It seems like they start at the other end, straight out of the room, and they work their way this way or something.
That looks really nice.
Yeah.
Because this is the more powerful light out of the two, the newer one. And I like the spectrum slightly better under this one. It's more of a whiter light. If you can see my arm, whereas I find under the other one, it's more of an orange, more of a flowering light. But I don't know. I just visually, this one looks better, anyways. Just having a look at some fucking flip action there. Sorry, I'll just see if you can see the little bastard.
I did.
I see.
I caught it.
I saw him scurrying.
That's it.
That's it.
The hell with you.
I just sprayed down my tablet.
Yeah. I've got.
He's gonna kill them all. Mash them, Hulk smash.
I picked up the
Recycle
the other day to take care. You know, I've been running now with the thrips. They've been bothered. You know, they're not really. They're not going to destroy your crop or anything. They're just a bit of a pain in the ass because you can see them and notice them, or you notice the damage they do. But they do hide from you. But I've got a good deal on these. I've got 50 packs of these sachets for £9.
Wow. How much is a quid?
$1.
In dollars.
About the same.
Let me look it up. Now that's awesome though. That's great to hear you got a deal. Now, do those? They have.
They don't always. They're not always that price. I think someone had made a mistake and ordered way too many of them what they needed.
Yeah, 10 times.
Yeah.
What's the shelf life on those?
They're supposed to release up to about 4 weeks.
Oh, cool. It says here 9 pounds sterling equals 11.46 United States dollars. 11.50. That's a steal, man.
Yeah, I like to if you like you find out who these people are that sell insects and everything like biological inputs, and you just join their mailing email lists or whatever, since you get your discount if you're getting get 5% discount on your first order, give them your email. But occasionally they'll drop you an email saying we've got this on offer, which is exactly how I'll come across them, and I'm like, well, yeah. 10 bucks or whatever it is for protection. Hopefully I might even take care of it. But anyways, that's where I'm at with that. I'll quickly show you my veg.
It's a good topic for this time of year too, us and I. We're starting to warm up here and where we live on the east coast of the United States. It's starting to get really nice. Spring's coming in slow, that's when the bugs come back. So always like to say and ask people, how do you keep your garden bug free, or what's your measures to keep your garden bug free? And when we say bug free, we're talking about the kind that are going to steal the life out of your plants, not microbial, good, positive life. We're talking about the bad shit, obviously. And the
bugs that you'll be in your garden all happy and you look over and see a freaking worm the size of your finger. It looks pretty freaky. Then you screech like a little girl.
Well,
all the neighbors looking over at you like, oh my God, look at that lady.
Yeah. I got a whole round of youngins here.
Those tomato hornworms get me every year. They blend in so easily until I look over and it's not a stem.
It's not a tumor.
And the tomatoes look like human teeth. Like someone's taking a big bite out of your tomato. You're like, what the?
Hey, the last couple we found, guys, they were infected with parasitic wasps. So they had the big white fuzz things on their back. And had it not been for that, I probably would have missed them. Because you start seeing, it looks like someone came in your garden, took a bunch of bites out of your tomatoes and just left them there. It looks like a human bite. It's so big after they work a little arch out of it. And man, those things, but we'll get into that too. I have it written down. What do we got, Austin? I see you building up some
cool strains.
You don't got no fan in there, huh? You just move them around with your fingers a little bit.
Yeah, I have got a fan, but it's not really warranted that much. I'll give him a little blast every now and then, but I ain't too fussed about it at the minute, to be honest with you.
No, they look good, man. Whatever you're doing to them, they're loving life. I see the two. What that was the
nori cake,
the tarte.
Oh yeah.
How do you say that?
Tartan.
Yeah, somebody told us what that meant. Somebody was in the chat that spoke French.
It's a cake or Scott, or did someone say it was a Scottish cake or something?
Yeah, wasn't it a cake?
Yeah, something like that.
Language.
That's just
you know how I like to redneck stuff.
Oh no!
Cool.
This is my version of my herbs now, but obviously this is a $30 machine, and the added advantage on this one, you know, it says minimum temperature 35, but you can turn this puppy right down, and it stays whatever your room is, you know. Well, it actually is about 2 degrees above my room temperature. So what I've managed to do is I've just put a probe in here. And I filled this up about 3 days ago on Eagle Show, and they said, yeah, you really want to pack it in. Stuck my probe in just to make sure it ain't getting too hot. So I've got my separate little thingy there. And that Scott from My Herbs Now, I was hearing him saying his machine goes from like 21 degrees to 26 degrees.
So you're right there.
Exactly. You know, and for a lot less money, as I like to, you know, I like the redneck stuff.
I like that too.
Yes.
The proof is in the smoke, right?
That's
so
right.
You'll know whenever you smoke it whether it was a worthwhile venture or not.
Yes, I can say it was. You know, for the adage is, you know, the buds come out perfectly nice. It's got I reckon it could probably go a little bit longer. You know, this is my first time with it. Possibly a little bit longer, but it's still terpy. It's not hay. And
so you're gonna let it stay a little longer.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm so glad that you're doing this because I've always had that curiosity ever since I saw the Scott's My Herbs Now dryer. I'm like, those look like the food dehydrators from back in the day. My mom had one of those, and
well, here's the thing with the My Herbs Now, and I smoked weed out of it, and it was good.
Oh
so
yeah,
I don't have a crossword to say about the machine. But I do. The one big difference between his and yours is yours has control. That one there is just plug it and go. You can't control the temperature, nothing. It's preset. So I don't know how that. It seems like it'd be an advantage, but maybe sometimes taking the thinking out of it. Somebody already did all the testing or whatever to see what point maximizes terps, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad to see that though, Austin.
Yeah,
really
me
cool.
too.
I'm curious to see how they smoke when you think they're ready, you know.
Well, I'm not gonna roll one up because I've already smoked, you know. I've been testing it. As soon as I felt that was dry enough to smoke, I was testing it, and I feel like maybe the high was a little bit better. Maybe it was just a little bit subjective, but as soon as you know, I lit it up and I was like, maybe I was just expecting or putting a little bit into it in my own head or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this has actually done a good job, and you know, maybe it was a bit like that. But to be honest with you, I think that's the way forward for me now, because my wife also appreciated the whole house not stinking of weed because I've got plants hanging up for a week.
Yeah, it definitely helps out there.
Constantly, and it enabled me to sort of like confine it into a sort of smallish area, and it didn't permeate that much because, like I say, it's not getting hot or anything.
Right.
Keeping on that. As long as you've got that temperature gauge, I think you're onto a winner with that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Or something.
There's definitely an advantage to having a drying and curing space that's a lot smaller than like a tent or
a room
or a closet. You know, when you can get that space down, there's definitely advantages
right
to
on.
it.
Boy, that was some nice.
That's pretty cool. I know. Very cool. Very cool.
Half hour down. Cheers, everybody.
Happy St. Paddy's Day, everybody.
It's definitely cheaper than buying a cannatol, Jenny McBlaze.
For sure.
Always looking for a way to
find cheap and have a good product. I mean, why not?
Cheers to the chat. Appreciate you guys coming. If you have any, I seen somebody was sharing some links there. If anybody has a link they want to share, Kingfisher had one for the apple tartan, which is an apple pie with caramelized apples from a region in France.
Nice.
So now you know what you're growing on.
Nice,
It's caramelized apples. So around here, that would be apple fritter, but over there, they put a nice name on it. I like it.
Yeah, we call it apple turnovers.
Yeah. We're not wearing green, but smoking green. That's right.
If we're not Irish, we're Irish.
That's
right.
That's right.
Fired up.
What are we going to roll up? Hey, you know what's nice? We got, I don't know how about you guys, but I like having a lot of different strains. I don't like when we get down to one or two. You only got, but we're sitting here. We went like yesterday and put all of our extra buds in jars, got them stashed away in a cool, dry closet, and we kept out an array of everything. So we have almost everything. We have 7 jars out, all different strains.
Stuff. So
and that feels great, man.
It really does.
Quite a blessing to be able to sit here and scan down 7 different jars and decide what's good for now, what am I in the mood for, what do I have the most of, all that sort of stuff. What's at the best point of cure versus like a couple of these jars are only a week out of the cannatrol, so they're going to get better. But
yeah, they need some time. Some of them need that time.
But it gives you a great.
You can smoke the product
for
sure, but there's no substitution for that time that it takes to get that good cure. And
we're going to go with Cali Kush because I really like it. That's original California crossed with skunk.
Or their version of skunk. I know there's a lot of controversy around that. I know Smart likes to think that he has the only.
This is the only real skunk. And if you don't believe it, you're just a hater, isn't that right? I got the only NL5.
Smack button.
Sometimes, the smack button for sure.
People don't know, man, how to play smart for a fool.
In a rock and roll fantasy kind
That's
of.
it.
It's the real thing.
I reject your reality and substitute my own, right?
That's right.
But I like that glass. That Coke glass is pretty cool. It's a new one.
Classic.
Classic. It's a classic.
It's like going to Pizza Hut or something when you was a kid. Well, Pizza Hut had those big red dimply plastic cups. But those are nice. Yeah. That's a thick brown smoke there. You got a good scald on that hash. She's smoking out.
She's the smoking.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to check Artman's setup out here. I think
your lights are on, right?
He's putting in some work.
They're gone. Oh, here's my new glasses.
Nice.
We'll try these in a little bit. This is really cool. But this one here.
Does that have like a red bottom to it?
Yes, it does.
It does.
Oh,
Ruby
it's so
red.
pretty. I love it. I love it.
It's very tall too. But this one here has little dimples on the side.
Oh, for grip.
Just for me to grip. Look at that. Isn't that great? I'm thinking about going back to the secondhand store and getting the other ones and engraving something on them. I've done glass engraving too. So
that's cool. That's really cool.
Mini clone. Well, not so many anymore.
Not so, I was just going to say, not so many anymore.
It'll always be the mini clone, right? It's like the youngest born is always the baby. My mom used to tell everybody, that's my baby. I'm like, I'm 26 years old, mother. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Slow. Mini clone.
Oh,
I gotta get this one in. I gotta get this one in.
Haircut, man.
And that right there is the slurricane, golden slurricane from Puffy.
Ooh.
Ta-da! Oh man, that's kind of dry in there.
Just coming up on you.
Yep. And I got the green crack bean in this little container here.
Who's that from? Oh, excuse me.
Seed person. Seed person gave me that.
I'm not
the
surprised.
Green crack.
Very
generous.
Yeah,
he's always gifting me. I'm gonna set you down for just a second. Yeah, he's always he likes growing one and then passing them on. That's his MO. Okay.
He's got one going now. My wife just mentioned.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys have been doing that though. Like he'll grow it and you'll grow it. Like that's cool to have that. I love that. And you can see what he's done. You know
what you're getting.
That is why I don't have an air stone.
No, that's perfect.
I don't need them. Yeah, I don't need them. So anyway,
nice.
Everything's working.
Nice.
This is the new setup. Oh, let me kill my.
This is the new stuff.
I saw that on Instagram and I was like, that is so cool. Yes.
Well, I was telling everybody I had the mother in there, and it's really looking good. It was a nice big plant. You know, the stem was almost 3/4 of an inch wide. So I was trying to figure out how I could install a height to get it up off of the tray, and I never have thought of anything, but now I did. I've got a plastic toolbox that I made a hydro years and years ago.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah, it looks like a freaking tackle box for fishing or something, man. I like it.
It is. It's a toolbox, but this is the inflow line into here, and it fills it up. I've got two lines here. One is the bottom when it needs to drain completely, but it's kind of thin, so it doesn't drain fast. And this is the overflow one. That's the overflow. So it fills up to there, and then falls back into here. And the main pump moves the newts back into that room. It's running right now, actually.
And if anybody was with us last week, you remember Art, man, last week we talked hard about how you could fit a plant into this side of the canopy.
Exactly.
And utilize the light.
I was also thinking, well, the reason we talked about why I couldn't was because I have this pump right here. And, you know, the roots would invade the pump and clog it up. And they are coming clear from those plants all the way to here. I had to pull them back today. So they're all the way to the pump. But anyway, I was thinking I could even make a larger piece all the way across and do both sides just like that. So, and all I had to do to adjust it was add another minute to this timer because I'm adding another 3 or 4 gallons anyway and it wasn't pulling it all out. But I think it'll work. It looks like it'll work.
Hey Ron has a question. Hey Ron has a question for you. He says, "Does that air pump make the reservoir warm?" I'm assuming he meant your waterfall pump that's creating air. Your little waterfall.
No. All the pumps, all the water pumps do create heat in the reservoir. Absolutely, they sure do. And that was a 528 gallon per minute. But I have a chiller, so that takes care of that. That changed my grow. I wouldn't recommend anything like this. Even deep water culture, recirculating deep water culture, tough without a chiller, I think. So, you know, that's one thing that I would not get rid of for love nor money. So, anyway, let's look at these girls now.
Right on. Those, oh yeah.
Those are fat buds, man. They're fattening up.
They're 4 weeks. They got 4 to 5 weeks to go. So they're going to fatten up considerably. And the smell, oh my God, I wish I could describe it better. It's so funky. It is. It's funky. And they're growing really good. As you can see, they're just cranking.
Oh, they are.
They're really good.
They look wonderful.
They didn't make it all the way down there. That's why I put that plant there, because I've got that big area there that's just empty. So I'm thinking that plant will probably stretch another 4 or 5 inches, but then I'll drop it back down into the original hole if it does. So not worried about it.
If it gets too tall on you. Now, if it just grows into the canopy, just leave it? Or is that the plan?
You got it. That is the plan. You read my mind. These are a little taller than the other ones, but that's okay. They're on the edge. They'll be fine. They're pretty good.
A little bit, Art, man. It seems like your video feeds.
Just the video is freezing.
It's catching up.
Okay, let me back out.
If you stay on this side, it seems better. I know the other side has more.
Okay.
But we got a good
There's
look.
a lot of electronics between here and there. So, but everything's looking pretty good. I just got to figure a few things, cover it up and stuff.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing pretty good.
Once you get rolling with it, you'll get to see the ups, the downs, what you need to change, if anything, you know, or if you nailed it on the first try.
I might add another 30 seconds to the timer. I like to get all the water out. So, but it's doing pretty good. Those plants are very vigorous though. Monkey Dew's Argyle Stash. Monkey
Right
Dew
on.
from Hershey's Grow Room. So they look pretty good. And that funky smell though.
There's
Smells
funky
just.
smells. He said that's what we need smell-o-vision for, man. We'd like to share with that.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Because I've seen many buds, even from your tents, that look just absolutely delicious. And I'm sure these are going to do much better. So, anyway, there it is. I think that covers
that is awesome.
everything. I think that's got it.
Got a lot of roots on those
Doing
little
good
plants.
though. And I don't have powdery mildew.
Powdery mildew.
That made me so happy, man. When I didn't have anything, that was, oh God, I was ecstatic. That was kind of a bummer. I think I need some Amy Ace's hash.
Amy Ace's hash sounds great.
Oh, I kicked my ass last time. Last show, I just sat here and kind of was quiet for a while. It was like, oh wow. I think I'll listen. Oh, it's okay. Goes with the territory.
Art man, I just want to say I remember when I got salt buildup because I was a little, clumsy with the watering. I got some water on the leaves and then it dried. When it dried, it had like this. It looked like powdery mildew. I mean, it got me. I was like, oh my God, what's on my leaves? So that can happen, man, until you figure out. It's always good to find out, oh, that's just a little salt buildup or it's a little buildup for my nutrients. That's pretty awesome. You're breaking out the fancy glass.
And we got Ice and I down there about to do some strainage.
Straining.
Some what?
Straining of.
Oh, I see. He's doing FICO. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
No, I'm curious. I want to see how he got to the point where this liquid is. But how do we get to that liquid there? I know you showed us your alcohol. You got material in there.
Yeah, he's going to strain it off.
I thought, okay.
Good report from Art Ma'am. She made some salve the other day, and she came home with her heel was hurting really bad, and smeared the salve on it, and it disappeared. Pain was gone.
Awesome.
That's great.
It's good to
you
hear,
guys
man.
got a lot of that salve
Yeah.
too. Medicine for a while.
Making our own medicine.
He's making more too. Probably later today.
Do you see that? It looked green.
Yeah, how appropriate for the holiday here.
Yeah.
Put it on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's massive, man.
This is called what they call a green dragon, isn't it? I think it's a long soak. This is the second. This is the wife's CBD plant.
Okay.
So this is now sat in there for about a month.
Holy shit.
Okay.
A month.
It's had a couple of 2 weeks of that. It's been in the freezer, in and out. And it's now sat there on my worktop for a few days. It's probably going to take a minute now to drain. But yeah, it's got a little I don't know if you can see that now. It's got a little constant run on there.
Yep, I see it dripping.
Yeah. That's pretty badass.
That's going to take a while to run through there. I'll probably leave that a good few hours. I'm going to throw that material once it's done because I washed it twice. I don't know whether you can really do it any more than that. But after that's finished in there, I will now cut a coffee. This is a Bruxner filter. Bunkner, something like that. Anyways, this has got a ceramic filter already built in place, but I'm going to stick a couple of coffee filters on the top and just vacuum pump it through
Oh, that's gonna be
That's
nice.
cool.
Man.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I bet it's gonna come out pretty clear. Right now, dripping out of there, it looks like ethylene glycol. That's antifreeze
Yeah.
for your car.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, that's the pump.
It's actually a little more fluorescent.
Yeah, this is basically a bilge pump, but this one says it's suitable for oil, blah, blah, blah. But it fits nicely on the bunch and the filter, and I give it a good old pump, and that pulls that'll pull that wash through that filter quite quick. It only takes about 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah, no doubt. Puts negative pressure in the bottom of the beaker and
draws
it right
it
down through. Yeah.
And that comes through there pretty no sediment in there or anything whatsoever. That just goes straight into my distiller, and I think it takes about an hour, maybe roughly maybe 2 hours to return a litre back. So I lose a little bit because as you can see, where I'm actually going to lose it now, the majority of my alcohol is going to be here in this in this material.
Yep.
As you can see, it's now got to a slow drip. But if I see, I've made the mistake before. If I had some decent gloves, which I haven't got, which I meant to get, I've switched this in my hands before.
Yeah.
And it took all the skin off my hands.
Wow, I bet. Because you're roughing them up and using that alcohol and all the terps and everything, that's gonna mess you up.
Yeah, I definitely would want to wear gloves for sure.
Now you'll reduce this down now once you draw it off and put it through that strainer. By the way, can we buy one of those glass strainers rando on Amazon, or do you get that special somewhere?
Yeah, I just picked it up, but I can't remember, off eBay, I think. Yeah,
what's it called again?
A Brunkner filter. Someone will put it in chat and probably spell it properly.
Buckner filter or something.
Buckner. Yeah, Buckner.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so basically, it's just you can get different sizes. I think this is a 350 mil. 350
like
mil.
that.
Yeah, and you get your little glass receptacle. See, this is ideal. So when I've finished my wash, and I've stuck it in the distiller, or before I put it in there, I'm checking to see how much I've got in here, so I know how much, so I can sort of like pay attention when I'm coming to the end of it, in case it starts to overheat or whatever.
Gotcha.
You can't guarantee that it's always going to switch off, but I'll switch it off just before I've recovered a majority, 90% of my stuff back.
Yeah.
And then I'll slowly let the other stuff evaporate off in my room. So it's probably another couple of days. I'll probably leave it a week just to make sure before I put it in the oven to activate it. Because I don't activate mine first. That's another thing as well. Because the smell and everything else is it's just easier for me to activate the oil rather than activate the material.
Good deal.
But I will try it the other way and see if there's a difference between the two end results.
The Buckhorn filter. I've heard of that name, like Bunsen burners. Those must be the guy that invented it, Buckner.
I'm just going to move this out of the way because I want to smoke.
Yeah, you don't want to light that up. That's pretty cool, though. You soak it for a month. I've heard of people doing that a couple of weeks. And I've heard of other people doing 3 to 5 minute soaks. I guess that all depends on your end goals, right? And what you want to use it for.
Well, Ahmed, it's all about the edible and the most medicine I can get per, I want the most I can get out of it. I'm worried about just THC and a smokable product. The people that are probably doing the quick washes and everything else, they're going to miss out a lot of the other stuff, but they're able to smoke it if you really wanted to. I wouldn't want to, but that's the goal of this quick washing, is that you're able to consume it in a
I've been wondering how long I want to let mine sit for, us and I. whenever we put it in the soak. I don't
We've
think I want.
changed our minds a couple of times, and
Yeah, at first I
we're
thought
still
it was
not
going to be like
sure.
2 weeks, and then I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like 10 minutes, and now I feel like I
So
don't know. I want to go a little longer and get the most I can out of it. I would like it to be very sleepy time, so maybe a longer
yeah,
soak would be better.
well, that's the whole point. You know, ideally, we want the most we can get. I mean, maybe the amount of alcohol, maybe it's limited to the amount of material. I'll just throw a whole plant in a jar and just cover it with alcohol. But maybe if you use twice the amount of alcohol to plant material, maybe you can get away with just doing one wash because you'll there's more room, if you get what I mean, to take on more product.
Yep. A
So
lot more surface area. It can touch
yeah,
every surface area with a lot of product. Yeah.
and like I say, I ain't opposed to leaving it in your freezer for over a year or whatever, and it's only going to get better. I think the longer you leave it, it's going to extract
Hey,
more.
look, he's got a world philo taxi growing off of. Oh wait, that's a shamrock.
It's a shamrock. Happy St. Paddy's Day.
I like it. Very festive.
It is festive.
Cheers to the chat. Jace, Major General, Galaxy, Artman. The American ones there.
That's a new strain, by the way.
What's that?
My plant there with a 4-leaf weed plant or leaf.
And what strain would that be?
Well, I'm not sure what to call it so far. We haven't decided yet.
Mr. Lucky
You
Charms.
asked for it.
Ah!
You knew something was coming.
Yeah, like Brian 420 saying, it depends what your goal is. It's like with a lot of other things. That kind of dictates, like when training a plant, what do you want your end goal to be? That dictates how you start in the beginning. So same with this. If you wanted a quick wash, you just dissolve the heads and get the oil quick and kind of not get any of the green. Now, I guess this begs my question, or this makes me ask the question, what benefits are in the green?
The same as any green plant you would eat. Dark leafy greens. There's phytonutrients and chemicals that are activating processes and systems within our bodies, and it's the same as any other food. Basically, it's nutritious.
Here comes a hash rip.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's nutritious. That appeals to me. And I'm thinking it's going to taste bad anyway. So I might as well get those benefits.
That's what I'm thinking.
Of doing it that way. I at least want to try it. I'd like to try the other way too.
Well, you little bastard. Oh, excuse me.
They went out on him.
This is Amy Ace's, by the way.
Napalm is what that is. Drip, 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 drip. It's like burning plastic. I put that shit in my bowl one time and I choked and blew it out and it landed right on me, man. It is. It's like napalm. There you
shit.
go. Oh,
I knocked it off, damn it. Oh, no.
We got you all screwed up.
Failure.
Here, let's take a bong. Let's take a bong.
Oh, tragic. That was a long bong rip, man.
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
Let's see. All right, let's try that again.
Let's try it again.
I actually had the glass upside down. Smashed it with the bottom of the glass. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
That's a boulder on there this time, huh?
It is. I'm going to make sure I don't pay for that mistake.
It's on like neck bones this time. Whew, set the fire alarm off.
I'm telling you, it's the only way. This is the top. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh no.
You didn't get her hot enough.
Failure again. This stuff is hard to light. I don't know why. Amy doesn't want to go to 5.
Galaxy said that just reminded me of Cheech and Chong knocking the hash off the pin. That's funny. I always think when I see the roaches in that one scene where he's like El Rocho and he lights it up and he sucks it right in. That's when that girl snorts the Ajax. Remember? Oh man, goodness. That's a wild movie. I love it.
It is a wild movie for sure.
There it goes, man. I see some clouds.
Success. Third time's the charm.
Yeah. That heavy hash smoke's undeniable.
I like this glass too because it's got the little divots. Although I used the divots to smash it this time, so
I like that glass too. It
ain't got a red bottom, so it's not. It's easy to put the wrong end on. You smash it in there.
It was because of those that he made that.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, cause and effect.
That's right.
Science while getting high.
You're going to get some hits off of this piece if it stays lit. It's nice whenever they just turn it into a little.
It don't go off.
Yeah.
It don't go out. Once it's lit, it ain't going out.
Here comes the second strain. Hey, Asanai, was you cutting those filters down? Making them smaller?
Yeah. Basically, just to fit inside there, I use the standard coffee filters, the large ones, and just cut it into a nice circle so it fits inside here. Help keep this ceramic bit in there a bit cleaner, and I'll show you it in a minute when it's finished. The sediment catches. But I'll just fill this structure out.
Oh man, check this out, Art man. Claude says a lady had a hash kettle to do that. It looked like a real teapot. This makes me think of those little. When I was my first apartment, I had these little brass, they looked like magic genie lamps, and we used to put those little cones in there that were incense. Yeah. This makes me think of that. You could use one of those, put it in there if you had a way to get it out, but that would be cool having a little
tea kettle.
Yeah.
I've never had one. They have a little product out of Canada called a Apple. That's for smoking glass. It's a little glass, about the size of an apple, but it's glass and it's shaped like an apple, but it's got a little inserting thing you fill with your hash and you put it down through the top somehow. I want to get one.
That sounds cool. I know Red Setter Farms. I think it was Red Setter Farms was selling a hash under glass apparatus. It had like a little wooden base with a pin or a place for the pin, and then it had a glass that went over top. I think it said Red Setter on it or something, but it was pretty badass. And I was thinking, wouldn't mind having one of those.
Well, I'm going to take that glass and I'm going to etch on it, maybe a dragon or some pot leaves or something like that. I haven't done that in a long time. Be cool though. It was only $1, so.
Oh, it looks like Brian's says he's getting a hand pump. I love this. Replacing my crappy vacuum pump.
Yeah, with one like that Ice and I just showed us.
Yeah. So when you pump that, it pumps the air out underneath of your shit and sucks it right down. I seen this cool trick the other day. This dude was putting this is pretty smart actually. He was putting axle lube or whatever, some kind of a fluid grease into like an axle that was up inside the car. So he ran a hose up to like the wheel bearings or wherever it was going, and he put the other end down in a 20-ounce bottle, sealed it up, and then he poked a hole in the side, stuck his air gun in there, and filled it up with pressure, and it pushed it through the tube right up into the universals or whatever the hell that big pumpkin is in the back of a truck. It was something like that, or a transmission, but I was thinking that's pretty freaking ingenious.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Using physics to help you out.
I was a little bit zealous, and I just didn't check everything, and I knocked it with my arm. This is the sort of thing you have to be careful about when you're playing with chemicals.
Yeah, the pumps need maintenance, and oil. That hand pump that's probably a pretty cheap hand pump too. It looks like it's kind of like one of those ones you would get for, remember the kerosene pumps that had their big red thing, and it almost looks like that same concept. Yeah, like a small version.
I think it came from an auto parts place or something like that. I can't remember, or a Bolton. For Bolton, I'm not exactly sure, but yes.
Is that called a two-way pump or something? Does anybody know? A two-way hand pump or something like that, I think.
Bilge pump.
Bilge. Ah, okay, bilge. Always equate that to a ship, so that makes sense. When I hear the word bilge pump, I think of a ship.
Yeah, it just sucks one way and blows the other, and it can take oil and liquid, and
sucks one ways and blows the other. That's what you got to look for. That's important. Why is my wife laughing?
Hey, we're all laughing inside.
Yeah,
she just let it sneak out.
She has so much, intrusive thoughts just racing through her mind. I could see through her eyes like the window to a soul, man. And I know my wife well. When you say it sucks one way and blows the other, she about fell off her chair. I love you to death. I really do. Look at that.
Gotta keep laughing.
Now, what is that? What is that? Is that any good?
That looks like blonde hash to me.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's flammable.
I'll just throw it in the bin. The shit. Probably, all sorts of crap. I wouldn't want to know, really. But, yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can get it under the light for you. So you can...
You
look like a real scientist. Like
that's pretty cool.
You need a lab coat.
It doesn't look. It doesn't seem to have any particulates. That filter system that you're using seemed to work really well with the coffee filters.
Yeah, you can. I think the Brunson filters some of them don't come with that ceramic part that I've got in mine. I chose to just get one with the ceramic part. Maybe you shouldn't, because that's getting stained and dirty over time, and I don't know how. Maybe I'm going to have to just run a load of clean alcohol through it lots of times in order to clean it. So, whereas I think the standard ones are just perforated, where you just put your coffee filters in there. So you wouldn't.
That's a good point here by Midwest, which, I haven't brushed up on my fluid dynamics in a while. And, I did a thesis on it once, but I can't remember he's saying pull a siphon on the same size line works a lot faster and easier. But isn't that what we're doing when we're pumping underneath of the product, siphoning it down through the screen mesh? Because maybe I'm confused on how this is all working. Pull a siphon on the same size line. I wish I could get more from out of you on that. There's a link from Brian, a $16 Amazon flow tool transfer.
I'm sure there's plenty of ways to skin the cat. I just know this is the well, I picked up, this was Spartan. I picked this one up off Spartan, the Brunson filter, and that was amazing. But yeah, I like to cheap it out. That's why I got that cheap little hand pump. There's nothing that can fail on it, really. That's the other thing. You can maintain, you can undo that pump and put new seals in it if it needs it. Whereas you get an electric, because I did look at the electric vacuum pumps and everything else, and they just said all the reviews and everything, they don't last. That's the thing.
I'm with you, man. I'd rather do a little more labor and have a tool that I know is going to hold up for me, you know? Buckner filter. We got to remember that. Yeah, they're putting up the links there in the chat for the pump.
Yeah, thank you for putting those links up. We appreciate that.
And this is my dedicated FICO distiller. So I brought this purposely just to do that. So nothing else gets run. You know, I don't put anything else through it. Don't really have to clean. You know, I wouldn't worry about too much about cleaning what was last run in it. You know, if there's a little bit of residue in there, it's not going to be an issue. I'll open it up and show you exactly.
You know, I have a question for you. When Spartan came on and was talking about this with us, he had mentioned something about it being real sticky when you cook it down so far that it can be a hassle to get out of the.
Yeah. You don't want to reduce it too much.
Like that, I took that as a warning. So
I'll stop. I don't mind if it's a little liquidy. I just don't want a bunch of alcohol, and I don't want to dilute it in a bunch of alcohol. But if there's a drop or two, fine. You know,
right.
Well, that's it. I leave it till it's a little bit runny, and that's what I didn't retrieve. There's not a lot in there. There's probably about half a gram probably left in there, and I'm now just going to stick more alcohol on top of this with that wash, so it's just going to get mixed in, and eventually what I could do, I could just clean, you know, just throw some alcohol in there and just wipe it out, you know. But yeah, you don't really lose a lot. You don't lose a lot. And if you're constantly using it, it's going into the next one. It's got, you know,
right.
As long as you don't burn it on the bottom, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
But that's making it fuller spectrum, right? I mean, if you're adding more and more to it.
Well, the idea is that I'm going to mix them all anyway, apart from the ones the ones that are just CBD only or you know, non-psychoactive. But yeah, the idea is just to have a mixture, isn't it?
According to Spartan, that half gram that's in the bottom of that would be one dose. Or if you're like me, maybe a lightweight, that might be 2 doses.
No, he said he took a half a gram a day.
Yeah, that would be a dose, right?
Yeah, I think he's taking it a little. I don't know. I thought he spread it out over a day. I didn't think that was one dose.
Small, right? Because he did talk about that, taking that and breaking it down over.
Yeah, I don't think it was a half a dose. You do a half a gram in one shot. That's gonna. If you're especially now, you got to have some tolerance to do a half a gram a day anyway. But don't ever do that in one shot.
No. I don't know. These maybe if Spartan's in the chat there. What is this in the bottom of my? You know, I've filtered everything, and it seems like if I leave the product or if I leave the finished washing here, it starts to recrystallize. Is that what that is? Is that crystals, THC crystals or something in the bottom? But the alcohol doesn't really seem to want to take that off. If I was to put fresh alcohol in there, it's just there.
That's wild. I'm curious too now as to what that would be.
It looks like tricheads, don't it?
It really does. Like
undissolved tricheads or something, which doesn't make sense at all. So it's like that. It looks like it, but my mom wants to say wash that right away because that's not what it is.
I'm curious as to
anybody out of any ideas.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's if I leave it in. If I was to filter it, tip it out, that wouldn't be in there. But because I was lazy one time and I left this for filtered and I left it for a while. That's what I'm assuming that it's re-amalgamated itself in some sort of way.
It's like polymerized or something down there. That's
like crystals grow, don't they?
Hey, and you're right. Now that you just dumped all that into that other pan, it's going to dissolve what was stuck at the bottom and mix in there, giving you a fuller spectrum, as my wife was mentioning. Because and now when you do this one, you'll have a mixture of this. Eventually, you know, it's you're always gonna have a little bit left over, but the stuff that was left over from the last run kind of gets mixed in with this one. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Obviously, you wouldn't want to do. You wouldn't want to. Maybe if I was going to make the CBD one for my wife, I'd clean it first.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
It's nice to see you going through all these steps.
You don't want to get your wife all hot up trying to take her medicine, you know, and the THC hit her real hard or something.
Oh yeah, you don't want to.
I never thought of that. Depends on who you're making it.
Yeah, if you have to keep it separate.
Hey, if you really wanted to, like you said last night, you drop a couple drops of alcohol down there, swish it around, draw it back up, and put it in your Sunday afternoon coffee. Little brandy in your coffee. You know what I mean?
Would that be Jamaican coffee instead of Irish coffee, or what?
I don't know.
I'd rather have cannabis infused coffee than any alcohol in my coffee. What's the point?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh. Get my daily dose of orange juice. Man, is that shit getting expensive? It's like $7 a gallon. I'm about ready to grow my own oranges and start squeezing them.
It's not good for you, juice.
Yes.
Need the fiber.
We can start a bonsai orange tree in a tent. Keep it tropical.
You can put they can graft multiple citrus fruits onto one tree, if I remember correctly. Same with apples, too.
Those are cool. They can put apples and pears on the same one, too, if they're related. So that'd be cool, too.
I found
the citrus one. That'd be fun, man. If you lived in the right climate, that'd be great. Several kinds of oranges.
I've seen a machine. They were using a machine to splice plants together. And they were just doing it so quickly, you know, like a production line of just grafting plants.
Wow,
that's cool. I've seen the little pliers they use by hand, and they cut out a little puzzle shape, and the other side gets the other side of the puzzle, and it just kind of fits in, just like a puzzle piece. It is so weird, but it's really cool. Yeah, so it doesn't just fall apart real easy, you know.
Yeah. Like I've seen some, I know exactly what you mean. I've seen some of the, like, I think it was a Chinese guy was cutting wood with real intricate, like, dovetails that didn't look like they would even fit together, but they did. And they were so tight. And I'm thinking, wow. And some of them, he even had a little extra piece of block of wood art, man. He fit this real thing together and he would slide this piece of block in. And as long as that was in place, you could never pull it out. It was like a pin, you know?
Yeah. Those are amazing. Yeah. They build houses without nails.
Yep. Well, the reason I always wondered, well, I shouldn't say always, but it occurred to me one day, why do people go through the headache of why not just grow 3 different kinds of fruits or whatever? And I guess it's, the native rootstock. The reason they graft is because they want to grow it on a native rootstock, and if it will do a lot better than trying to grow, that orange there with its native rootstock wouldn't do well in that terroir. So they switch them up. And I'm thinking that's pretty badass. That you can kind of just lop it off.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That is amazing. It is. And you're right. That would grow better there, in the country of its origin. When you put the sweeter orange or apple or whatever the hell you want, and you graft it onto the native rootstock. Voila.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, and there it is. I love that thing.
I got a chance to use it, man. Did you hear that?
I didn't quite catch that.
I said, Bob's your uncle. I got to use it in a sentence. For those who don't know, that's my friends in Britain. They were saying, Bob's your uncle. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you saying? It's like going, voila, or something like that.
Or there you have it, you know?
There you go. Exactly. There you go. But I thought it was really funny, though, when they finally explained it to me. I've been looking for a way to push it into a sentence.
And you just got to. Hell yeah.
Yay! Happy St. Patrick's Day. Well, actually, English. Oh, well.
I saw
we're celebrating here in America.
I saw it on a show or something that I was watching. The guy was being really funny, and he was like explaining something. He goes, "Bob's your uncle. Off you go," or something like that. And I was thinking, I knew what he meant based on context, context clues. But I was like, oh. And then I hear other people using it now.
Yep.
I love it.
I've got a lot of friends from Britain, actually. I've probably got 15 or 20 people I know. A few from Australia, too, so.
I grew up with Benny Hill.
New Zealand. There's a couple New
So
Zealand.
did I. My dad loved Benny Hill.
No.
That was crazy.
Benny Hill, no. Sorry. Can't be doing that.
Yeah. I was I was a teenager, 13. What do you want?
Hey.
That's all I didn't care. Just let me see.
So let's get this right. You didn't approve of Benny Hill, Asanai?
No, fucking creep. Weird me out. That's it.
Creep.
Right. You might as well. I put him alongside fucking Jimmy. No disrespect. I don't know the man personally. Yeah, but British TV back then was creepy and weird, and it's run by a load of weird sort of, I don't know, it's sexual innuendo shouldn't be on TV.
Wouldn't survive today. Wouldn't make it today. No, not at all.
No, we had to deal with Jimmy Savile. He would, he's Benny Hill is like part of the establishment, like Jimmy Savile was. That's all I'm saying.
You guys are old, man.
Bam.
Smack button. Hit it.
Where's that smack button?
Sack a fire to the head, you know what I mean?
I always thought it was comical when they did that, like that fast forward when they would run and play that.
Yakety sax. That's what it's called.
Those are good memories, aren't they? Those are good memories of when you was a child. Things were different, and your family was still all together.
Yeah, I remember the music playing in the background. I was a kid. I was doing other things, but I liked hearing that, and I always got a chuckle out of watching those old guys run around chasing girls. And this was hilarious.
Nobody had cell phones. Oh, it was nice. You were watching a TV on top of a TV.
It was just a giant wooden box with knobs on it, and
The remote control was with whatever kid was in the room at that time.
Yeah, the kid.
Funny, that remote control worked. It worked for getting a beer too.
That's what I said. Did you change it to channel?
I fetched lots of beer for my dad and changed the channel.
That's it, man.
Oh boy.
Where are the flying cars? Because I thought we would have that by now.
Looks like we're about to get some reclamation here.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
Now, that bottle fits under there, but it don't look like it fits very well, eh?
Yeah, it's all right. I'll put it on a little silicone glove just to make sure it doesn't slip away. But
that's smart.
Oh, this is good.
I used the glass because I didn't want to put plastic under there, but to be honest with you, it comes out in there quite cool. So,
Artman's getting higher in 2 Georgia Pines. He's down here extracting. I'm smoking
a joint. That seems to work for me. Is 82 degrees.
It's weird. I can't see no numbers on my screen. It just there we go. Yeah. I can see a little bit now. Yeah. 79. I don't know what Celsius is.
179. It says I see a 1, a 7, and a 9. And I see the 82 clearly there.
what's that, 82 degrees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems to finish up quite quickly on that. I ain't too worried about it getting too hot because, like I said, it's not been activated yet anyway. So I'm going to have to. It's still going to go through an oven yet on a much higher temperature. So, well, the only thing I'm concerned about is just burning it.
Hey, Philly Boy's asking, is that a butter maker? I think he's a little bit late. Maybe you could just tell him what
Tell
you're
him,
doing.
yeah. Just tell him what the machine is and
What's going on?
It's an air still. Just it's a countertop distiller, just with a temperature control on it, so you can adjust the temperature. So if according to what alcohol you've got, you look up the evap or the boiling point of the particular alcohol you're using, and you can set your temperature. So if once the alcohols go, or there's no product left, it's gonna, it's like a safety. You're not going to burn your product really, because as soon as that goes over the 82 degrees, the machine's going to kick off. And it's only going to go over 82 degrees. I suppose you could put a little bit of water in there as a buffer, because that won't burn off at 82 degrees. So you're going to save your product if you have 5 ml of water extra in there, maybe. But if you're using a 195, it's normally got 5% water in there anyway. But if you've extracted it more times, you're probably using not much. There's probably not much water in there, and there probably wasn't much in your product if it was dry. So yeah, like I say, temperature control is better than. I don't have to worry so much, because I said to myself, I kicked myself as I put that in. I didn't mark how much alcohol it was, so I don't know how much I'm going to expect back. So I'm just going to rely on this one, just finishing it off and just switching off.
Hey, Austin, hold on one second. I hate to interrupt you. Somebody's trying to join the show, which is fine, but they have what I would say maybe their government name up there, and I want to make sure it's all right before I put them on the screen. We'll give them a chance here to let's see. You know what I'm saying? If that's not the name they want to come in with, because I've seen other people almost.
Good idea. Well, you don't want to put your face up or name up if you're in a prohibition state.
But maybe it's all cool.
I think they can hear me, so we'll put them up here and see what happens. Cheers, man. Oh, damn. He got us. He got us. Sorry about that.
What was it?
Oh, you guys didn't get to see it. Oh, it was a live version. It's a family show. We apologize for that. If your family wants to learn how to grow, that's cool. We can.
Oh well, I missed it. I was looking at the chat.
That's instant karma for talking about Benny Hill, right?
Right. Some people have mental. Some people have mental problems, man, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know? That's all.
Your government name.
Yeah.
Turns out it's the Joker.
Yeah, we'll see. You try to run a show where you want everybody to feel welcome, be able to come on. Sometimes you just have to deal with the people who have less than savory motives, and it doesn't come around a lot, but it is what all you can do is hope those people kind of get a life, and maybe they find a little bit more substance to go on instead of running around trolling on YouTube. So we'll wish them a good day and hope they find a better path.
Happy St. Patty's Day, my
friend. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Let's get green.
Check it out. So you're already getting some back off of that.
Oh, this shit's coming.
Nice.
I just turned it down a bit because I've never noticed it before. There was quite a lot of vapor in this bottle. So I assume maybe that was a little bit too hot. So I've just knocked it down 2 degrees. and it's the vapor's stopped. So, and it's now a slow trickle, where it was quite.
Yeah.
It was flowing quite. That's how you can see how much I returned that quickly.
I feel like we're making hooch, man. You know, we're making some
it's
white
really
lightning.
cool to see this coming back. You know, seeing this machine in action.
I feel like Popcorn Sutton over here.
And you take that and you can then make more medicine out of that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep reusing this over and over and over again. Occasionally, I'll have to buy another liter of alcohol because every time I do a run, so I lose that little bit in the material what I'm going to throw away. And I don't know whether there's much evaporation in this process. I don't think there is. You're probably going to get 95. Use one of these, you're going to get 95% back of what you put into the machine.
That's pretty cool. And if you're like us, we'd be starting off with 151 or 75% alcohol for the first run. And then once it was distilled back, we would now have what, 95%, you know, or the shit that we wanted to buy.
Yeah, just because
that's true.
That's one way of getting around that law of in Pennsylvania to buy one of those machines and reclaim it.
And I want to say one of those machines is $100 roughly, 70 to 120, depending on which one you want and whatever.
Well, Cheddar Bob says the one with the digital thermometer is much better.
So there we go, digital thermometer. So even if it's a couple bucks more, you'll now know that it's worth it and why you're paying a little bit extra, you know?
Well, you got that, you know, you got the numbers. That's worth it.
It's great that somebody else, well, it's unfortunate that someone had to learn that, but it's great that they're taking their loss, because he probably bought one without it first and then realized I got to go get the one that I want to use. And in that case, you know.
Okay, kind of the same. My press, everybody that buys them wishes they'd had one with a pressure gauge. You know, I wish I'd have spent that extra $100 or whatever.
Yep.
Me included,
right? We
okay. You're one of those.
Yeah. Yep.
We've said that many times.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
After our first couple of blowouts, Art, man, I was thinking, man, I don't even know. I have no gauge. You know, if I'm 10 times stronger this time or just a little bit stronger. Or then I would think when it didn't blow out that I extract all of it because did I go too soft? And it just leaves you guessing all the time. And that's one thing, if you're anything like me, you kind of need that data, the numbers to know what's going on a little bit anyhow, you know?
Yeah.
I do it more by feel. Cheddar Bob says after a while you do it by feel. I do, but I do use the numbers too. So, but feel is good.
Probably early on, then you start
exactly.
What 180 pounds felt like, how many pumps it was, and things like that. The blowouts suck, man.
I've only had 2, but they were fairly recent, so I don't have really an excuse. I think maybe a little stem that I missed might have punctured the bag or something. But I'm not sure.
A weak strand or two in the king of the bag or something, you know?
I'll probably user error. I wouldn't say it's the bag. Yeah, I'd say pretty much. I guarantee it's user error with me. So, but
even with the pump, like you said, even with the gauge, if you're pressing up to the limit and you have like a stem or a hard spot or whatever,
I overfilled it. I also overfilled it, so that was one of the main things. It was pretty bad. So I tried to do more than I should have. So I scaled it back, so I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I wondered that about how we were doing it at times. If we were putting too much, and that's why we were getting the blowouts. But we haven't had our press out in a long time. We keep saying we're going to dust it out, but
it's a lot of.
I don't know.
I don't even think I have the rig that goes onto the end of my bong that we can put a dab into. I think I shattered it, and I got to get another one. And I can't remember. I got to get it all out and see. I think I need a male bong tip of, I forget what millimeter. Because it'll be in my Amazon cart. I ordered one before, but they were all shitty ones. They weren't like top of the line. They were just little clear borosilicate glass kind of cups on a stem, you know. And now they got balls spinning around and
lots of balls too. They're mini balls. They got multiples. I guess it's the surface area, isn't it?
I think
the smaller they are, the more you have, the greater the surface area for the rosin to hit. It's got to be a hell of a hit. It's got to be a blast. It has to be. I've never smoked out of one.
Well, yeah, and we only have the butane torch too and a heat gun, which makes it kind of iffy. You know, it sucks waiting to get branded at any time.
I haven't used any of my glass rigs since that. Well, I had a brand new torch and I lit it, and it shot out a flame about 1.5 feet, and and my wife just about freaked out, and that's when I went out and got my e-dabbers. I haven't lit the torch on that sucker since either.
Yeah. A lot of people going to the ball vape. I saw that vape Vana over on Caribou's show that one night.
That stuff looks pretty cool, though.
That he like the stuff our man uses, the E-Dab, the E-Nail. They have all that shit where you plug it in. It's pretty stable heat.
Burke has one of those E-Nails he uses a lot, so it looks pretty good. Yeah. Looks like it's efficient. Yeah, but you're not dealing with an open flame, propane flame, or butane or whatever you're using.
I feel like I was.
Sooner or later, I've looked at the ball vapes. They're just a little bit out of my price range at the moment, so I'm gonna have to probably come back and redneck something. my version of the ball vape.
Yeah, you're gonna do it yourself.
Crystals.
I feel like I'm.
You wanna watch that.
I only smoke joints, man, and I that sounds really shitty, but I don't really have much desire to do that.
Are you a snob? Are you a joint snob?
I'm not snob.
Come on now,
admit
it.
The other way around. I feel like we're the unsnobs because we never smoke any of that. It's just flowers. I feel like we're being left behind in them, and the cool kids got all the nice brand new Reebok pumps, and I'm over here wearing British Knights. You know.
I don't feel that way. I'm thinking when we were pressing it and doing dabbing, and our tolerance got way out of hand, and we really haven't then gone back to that since that.
It seems like a lot of work to me. I got to get it out, put it in a bag, fold it up the right way, get it in there, not blow it out, collect it all, then put it in something else, heat it up with a torch, check the temperature with the gun. As soon as it hits the right time, drop my dab in there just to get one big rip. That's my life. But they're not doing it like that anymore. They got all these contraptions. It's much easier, you know.
I pushed the button 3 times and watched the light. And when it's solid, I hit it. It's a nectar collector, basically. So that's pretty easy.
I can't wait to go visit people and use some of these contraptions and see how much I like them and smoke some of their product. Not a dispensary dab. I want to smoke the shit you grew, pressed yourself right out in one of those cool ass.
And
the torch incident was also the reason that I bought a press too. So I kind of dabbed with it, but she didn't want me playing with butane in the backyard either. So
seems like
blasting. What do they call that? Shatter? Is that?
Yeah.
Is that what the butane is?
Butane
I think that's something like that. But she didn't want me to do that, so I got a clearance to get this really nice press and all the stuff to go with it.
Clearance is important. Clearance is important.
Safety. It was all about safety.
Safety's the main important thing here, right? I don't know.
If you have the equipment, if you got the equipment, but I don't have a $30,000 or $50,000 reclaimed, whatever they call them. Who's got that? So I do what I can. I got my little press, and I do like concentrates. So as And of course, they're like half. You know,
I like
you're missing
concentrate,
out, man.
but to eat them, that's why I'm interested in the FICO and the
I haven't heard that saying in a while.
what is yeah, better ask forgiveness than permission. For sure.
Peace in the family, brother. You will learn, my friend, young one. Of course, my wife is very reasonable. Anything for the cause here, she's good because her medicine means a lot, and so does mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I joke, but it is serious shit.
And when it comes to medicine, however you get it in, however you like to do it, is the key. You know, you're getting your medicine. That's what it's all about.
Someone's about to get medicated real quick. Looks like the American one's done chomp down on a cookie. He's a cookie a day type of dude.
Yeah.
We know that.
Cookie Monster.
Yeah. All right. What do we got here?
So
boy, that came out in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Okie doke.
It did.
It really did. That was very quick.
That's a consistency. It looks good.
Nice.
Oh man, that's a lot too.
That's not out of there. This is it's been sat in my cupboard, just having the last bit of alcohol come off it. But yeah, I think this has been up there for a while. You know, I can't smell no alcohol. I'll probably get a little bit on a pin and set fire to it and see if it pops or anything. But I'm pretty sure this is done.
Is that how you test it to see if there's alcohol with a pin and fire?
Well, yeah, you're gonna see. Yeah, that'll just sort. You know, you'll know if there's out the flame, won't it? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Done.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah. Do it away from your main store stuff.
But yeah, don't. Yeah, it's not got no alcohol smell to it. It just smells like oil. So.
Yeah, and the longer you have it sitting out, the any alcohol would just breathe off.
It looks
whatever is left, if any.
Looks like a layer of tar on the bottom, like a thicker material there. You'd have to scrape almost off the bottom. See that?
So what do you do with the stuff you can't pull into a syringe? Do you scrape it up and smoke it another way, or eat it, or?
Because I'm just reusing these again, so I'll probably leave. That's what will get left in the bottom. Probably, I could scrape it up if I could be bothered. But this is just this one I use for CBD. This one's full spectrum. So, you know, what comes out of this machine now will just get put in here, then put in the oven.
Cool. Right on, man. That's a whole step all the way down.
I could go to the point of cleaning it. It would probably make a nicer product, but it's still.
You got to remember, you was worried about mixing because your wife's CBD and your THC, so you might want to not use that bowl for this run, right?
Yeah. Well,
gotcha.
This one's got the yeah, exactly. That's why I've got the two bowls, one for the CBD, but only just get the CBD material put in it, and the other one doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if the CBD go in that one. It doesn't bother me, but my wife it does. So I just should really say that's my wife's bowl.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Well, that's cool.
The medicine derived in this manner is it a little bit crude. Is all right, you know. A lot of us are going for whole plant medicines when we're doing this, so you know.
Right on.
Get that last little bit. Just drive it into you. It ain't gonna hurt you.
What's happening, G-Bay? How you doing?
We were talking ball vapes, and I was just about to load mine up, so I figured I'd come on and you know.
Let's check it out.
Demo time.
Cool. I like that.
So you got yourself a little power unit, the same as you'd have an e-nail or whatnot, right? So this end goes to my wall.
Yep.
Just like any other appliance, and this end has a special pin plug there, like a almost like a high-end audio jack kind of thing or whatever. It's got like I haven't opened it to see how many pins or whatever, but a special little connector, fancy, right?
Right.
And that comes down a nice heat protected cord, kind of like say you'd get on like a, TIG torch or something, a nice protected with a handle. And then inside the top is just, I'm sure it's proprietary. I won't be able to get into, the way this company has designed theirs and made all theirs, but you can see the little rubies or stones or diamonds, whatever you want to call them in there.
I see them too.
There's a certain amount of them stacked a certain depth, whatever. I don't know. You'll have to go in and into the world and research on your own. But what happens with mine and the company that I have is he's got a titanium bowl, really nice bowl with it's already packed. Got a screen in there, and this just covers it perfectly nice and tight. So when you draw your air through, the air comes through the top holes, gets heated to the temperature you desire over top of your balls, and hits your weed. Like I call it a lighter with a temperature control. So it's basically I'm doing the same thing as I would with a lighter and a bomb, except I'm not putting it whatever 1,000-degree flame over top of it. I'm dropping that temperature down to the volatilization levels that I'm after. I like 490 something around there. It gets me the nice tasties. The wife likes to make dragon clouds and go up to like 540, 550 range and blow the room out.
Dragon clouds. Yep.
It goes up and down either way. You can tickle it a little bit and get some flavors out of it, which I like to do with my very heavy lemon strains. Get that super wicked tart feeling on my tongue and everything, and get rid of any of that char and resin and after a big bong or something like that, right? So no, I had missed the Caribou Show this morning too. I was busy with some family stuff, and I missed my family, man. I didn't miss all my pot smoking buddies. So you guys were on. I was like, I got a couple minutes I can hang out. So.
Oh yeah.
Mother-in-law's birthday was obligatory. I had to be there.
Well, hell yeah. Peace in the family, brother.
If you're lucky, you got cake and ice cream, right?
Oh, I had the best breakfast. I had blueberry cheesecake pancakes. So what that consisted of was way too many pancakes covered in cream cheese icing, fresh blueberries, and blueberry like pie sauce, or the goopy blueberry stuff. So I didn't finish it all. It was ridiculous.
I'm glad lunch is almost here, man. We do lunch after the show.
I'm hungry.
My ribs are touching, man. You got me over here.
I would have brought this with me. I would have ate the whole thing.
Yeah, right. No, I appreciate you explaining that. Yeah, here, let me put you up there on the big screen. We can see how he's pinky.
Yeah, I'll get you a nice slow draw here.
Boy, that's
really interesting. That's interesting.
And I guess the appeal there is you're not combusting any of the green biomass. It's all terps melting off under the heat.
Nice.
That was fresh green. It still kind of is green. I could go in and hit that again if I wanted to. I won't.
Okay, so it's a one-hit wonder.
Privilege, they say.
For him. But if you want a dragon cloud,
it works.
That's cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'd love to try one of those.
Yeah, man. Now, how much are on weekend day? How many kilos set me back, man?
That's $600, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like this bong that I have with it is this is just one of our old ones, but you need an 18 opening. Oh, sorry, where's this? There you go.
18 millimeter, okay.
Yeah, I have all 14s. So unfortunately, I couldn't rig it up to any of my standard pieces. And this one we weren't using. And I thought, if I take the slide out, does this? And then I got my secondary chamber. So it's not professional, but it works.
How much is the initial unit? What'd you pay for the unit?
Oh, the unit
How much
itself,
for the unit?
US dollars without, if you already have a power supply. I believe it's 190 something, and then with the power supply, it's 290 or something like that. Yeah, so it's a bit pricey, but I'll tell you, I usually spend about 150 Canadian on a bong with a bowl and some screens. Right. You know what I mean? A smoking apparatus of any type of higher design, or not from the store at the corner, right? You can get 50 bucks.
Hey,
but
it seems like that cost, man. The upfront cost versus it delivers what it says, right?
Yes, yeah. It depends if you want to make a lifestyle change or not.
Yep.
Sounds like you can spend as much as you want on one of those. You can get some really expensive accessories as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like they have really nice idea. Like I like it because this little screw-on handle. Well, I'm a welder fabricator, so all I need is that little end there with that screw.
Yeah.
That little bit. That's all I need, and I can make any handle I want for this thing. You know what I mean? And you can go. I'm sure they have nice ones, nice Fluffykins. You guys know Fluffykins, Fluffy's Garden. He's got some. He's the one that got us all on it. So he's got a nice little rig, little special handles, and all this.
Hell yeah!
I personally probably wouldn't have bought one if I wasn't gifted. It's too pricey for me. But if I would have went somewhere and probably been introduced and hit one properly with some really good terpy weed, and they were on sale at that desk right there,
boom.
They might get you, man. Watch out. If you ever see someone advertising these for sale and they got fresh weed beside it for you to taste that, be careful. Yeah. Tricking you.
Be careful. Be careful. They'll hook you in. Hey, man, you want to try your first hit's free? Okay.
Yeah, that's the company I got too. The
Hey, G-Bit, do you or Caribou or anybody have any discount codes to speak of for that? Or
there would be one. We do have one through Booth. I believe it's Booth Crew. But if you want to give, I'm sure Caribou has that the proper code for it. I don't at the moment. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Give him a quick shout on Instagram. I bet you we got one still. Or Vap Vanna, get a hold of him before you do any purchasing. Say you're Booth Crew, friends with the Booth Crew, and you'll get in. You'll get your discount.
Right on. Yeah,
so is that one called the Screwball Starter Kit, like Nuke was saying?
Yes, yes.
Nice, because I was looking at them the other day, and the only ones I could see were like priced at around $600. I don't know whether because I was just looking at complete kits, possibly. But yeah, now I've got the $300 price in my head. I'm probably gonna.
The one in US, hey, shit. Send him an email and just explain to him. Say I'm one of the crew. I'm overseas. You got any deals? But you never know. He's a really nice guy. I've sat on some online lives with him and just shot the shit on his Instagram and stuff. And he's pretty down to earth. Cal is his name, the guy from Fat Farmer. There are other companies out there, so look around. But it's
Jay Patrick said he thinks that the code is just Booth. So
yeah, I believe it might be.
You can try that. And if that
it doesn't add any money on if you get the wrong code, so try it. That would suck. Every discount code you tried that's wrong, another $1 gets added on the bill.
Yeah, that would.
We got a cordless model for $500, according to Brian 420.
Yeah, I seen that. I don't know how that works. Is this like maybe a special metal that conducts very well and it has a good heat sink that it will maintain that temperature for X amount of, like, take it off the holder. I've never seen it. That's cool. That's neat. The cord, like me, I'm lucky I have
battery powered, huh?
Yeah, like most of you guys, I think, too, have like a smoking spot or a chair, like a desk you sit at. You know what I mean? A central smoking zone. I do. So mine just sits on the shelf here. I never have to worry about it. It's just when I want to toke, I grab my wand and away I go. That cordless one would be kind of neat. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to be, you're not stuck to the wall. That's cool.
Right on.
I bet. I mean, the cordless or the cordless would be nice, but like you, Smot, and I have a spot that we like to just smoke down, and
we could plug it right in.
Yeah, we could plug it right in, and it wouldn't be that would have.
That'd be ideal for us.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter if it had a cord, but it looks pretty cool.
Well, you're getting a lot back there, Cindy.
Yeah, you are getting a lot of your alcohol.
How much do you say you'll get?
It's just a regular drip now. What I'll probably do, because you can hear the distiller click the heating element click in and off. I'll pay attention to this drip now, and when it starts to really sort of slow down and get to a real slow, that's when I'll just kick it off and let the rest go on at room temperature. But having a little bit of alcohol left in there is a good thing because it's easy to get it out of the machine. But yeah.
I just seen a good point Guerrero had 420 sales. We're entering that time of the year, folks. We're creeping up on April. Any
Yeah,
of your
it's
cannabis
coming.
purchases, hold steady. 420.
Lights,
our Black
everything.
Friday is coming.
You know it.
Save pennies, man.
Yep.
You got about a month.
It's either 420 or Black Friday later in fall.
Exactly.
Save a
Those
lot.
2 days.
You save a lot. Yep, those 2 times.
Stoner's holiday, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Even-
right around the corner.
I know Farmer Freeman
It
has a sale.
is.
If anybody's like us and they want a sex test using the Farmer Freeman sex test, they go on sale. You can get them for $10 a piece at those times.
Yeah, that's when we try to snag those up during those sales that they have going on, which is a good point. You know, if you can save a discount, even using your buddy's code, which is helping them out, which it's a win-win-win. You're getting what you want. You get to help your buddy out. And if you have to schmooze things over with someone, at least you can take them out to dinner and be like, hey, break it to me easy. I bought this pretty cool thing, but, you know.
The wife. That's what you mean, huh?
Or the husband, depending on your situation. I mean.
It's the wife. No, that's cool. They, the people got emails and those. It seems like they're pretty close to sort of the same idea, you know, electronic heating device.
Yeah.
It doesn't have direct flame, you know.
It's that coil.
That's the combustion. It's the combustion thing. So people that have health issues don't have to breathe the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a lot, man. I don't have health issues, but I just have consumption issues.
Love it.
Yeah, I need to tone down on the combustibles. Like at first, I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, fuck, people been smoking. Turn the time, man. No big deal. And then you hit a big bong, and you're just like, oh, dying for half a day. This thing, I've put too much in it and caused an issue as well. So there is a limit. Just wanted to pop on and show it anyways, and hang out with some buddies.
Like an induction coil is what I think of,
Yeah.
man. You know, for heating metal up and shit. And it works on the crystals and gets them hot, the little balls or whatever. I wonder why they call it a ball vape. Now I know why.
Yeah.
There's little balls inside of it.
You know, I just want to say that Guerrero Grows, saying on there that he likes his high five, and he's not a sponsor, but he purchased it, and he likes that product, so he wants other Gromies to check it out. Well, like you're not a sponsor, G-Bay, but you're like, I like this product. You know, I always pay attention to those products that our friends here just are endorsing because it's a good product.
Like what I'll say is, like, I was gifted this, so there is I guess a bias. Like I was given it to it from a company that sells them.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
you would buy one,
first, right? They're all the same design, they're the same concept. It's not really a proprietary or like a patented scientific procedure or anything. The pieces and parts can be, but what you're doing is drawing hot air over top of dry cannabis to vaporize the cannabinoids and the trichomonads. So regardless of who you give your money to get that functionality inside your household, that's stone talk. You hear that shit up there?
Yeah,
it works.
That sounds good. It rolled off your tongue, man, really nicely.
Nice.
Brian 420 says, yeah, they're saying the ball vapes are good. He says he pushed the limit if you want to. I had a hit last night that melted my face. That sounds like a good one.
Just eBay uses it for the hot. Yeah, like,
face
and if you
melting
get
power.
eBay high, you're doing good because she's a weed mule, man. It's hard. Like, I grow some good shit. And she's like, yeah, it's all right. Thanks, hon. She likes the
Ow.
Ow, yeah, I know. No, I know that she's like my litmus test for if it's sleep weed. If it hits her, she's like, ooh. I'm like, oh, there's my sleep weed. If it hits you, it'll knock me flying.
That's the way to do it.
Opposite with her, though.
He's using his wife as a guinea pig. I don't know if I can endorse that in front of my wife there, G.
I'm sure there's no complaints on her part, right?
Oh, that's
She's
true.
not complaining. I would. I mean, pass it on over.
Well,
Babe,
I didn't
smoke
really
this.
get a flavor on that one. Can I try that one again? Yeah, she's a bit spoiled.
No, that's
She gets
cool.
some
Your
girlfriends,
wife,
like at work, they'll be like, "Here's a sample. Go try this."
we love
And then
watching.
I'm here at home. Try this.
She's very, very educated, you know, when
Yeah.
it comes to working and
Do
work
like
she's
do
at.
this dispensary side of things. That's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
you know, more experience in all the bud she gets to smoke and stuff. That is really awesome. And
She has noticed the home grow interest is there. We on the other side, I don't know what it would be like in the States. I'm talking Canada here, Ontario specifically. We don't present enough home grow opportunity. So let's get everyone growing. You know, if you got extra seeds and an extra pot and a little bit of soil, give it to your buddy. If they're hesitant, if you got someone who wants to grow or half thinks about it but just doesn't make the leap, kick them off the cliff, man.
That's
time.
it.
yeah,
It's time.
the
Give
more
them a damn
plants,
seed.
the better.
Yeah.
The more plants,
'cause
the
she-
better. Exactly.
She can't do anything about it because job wise and legality wise, excuse me, sorry, there's nothing she can do about it. She can't mention anything. She can't direct them anywhere. She can't do anything about it. But she just watches them come and go every day.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know, there's no way to intervene, but we get the home grow going more, right?
Exactly. And I like that. So if you got a little bit to spare, share it around. And only thing we have, our caveat here in Pennsylvania, is make sure you don't have any kids in your house, because they will use your kids against you in the court of law and stuff like that. And so, but yeah, man, make sure
Follow all your rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I know, like in Oklahoma, you can have your kid living there helping you. I've seen plenty of our friends, and they said that's one of the laws they fought for there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's hard to home grow when you have kids if you're not allowed to grow around kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's always those things they try to exclude large swaths of people. So, but in this state, you know, it's still illegal. And so if you do get caught with kids in the house, it's like a double whammy. They'll take your kids from you. And, you know, it's just, it's so unfortunate. It's heartbreaking to even let those words come out of my mouth, but it's the way it is here. But we're down the last couple minutes. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to spend some time with their family and stuff today. I want to thank everybody for coming on, for interjecting in the chat. It's always a good time. We did get our first flasher ever after 2.5 years on the screen. Our first flasher. So whoever that dude was, you can tell everybody he was our first. Broke our cherry. So
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Happy
Government name. Your government name is okay.
Jason M. That's who it was.
Great. Now we
You're not
know
welcome.
who it was.
Yeah. You know who it was. I knew exactly who it was. All right, let's go around the horn here. Maybe we could start with G-Bay. He was last in, first out. That all good?
Thanks for letting me join, guys. You know, I've been watching the SMOT crew for a while, and I hang out with my own crew as well. But we've been hanging out together a lot lately, which I fucking love. It's awesome. It's we see all the same face and everything. Love y'all. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Happy St. Paddy's Day. We'll try that one again. That's the ball baseball. Yeah, man. Take care. Thanks a lot for having me, and yeah, I'll just jump right out here and let the rest of you guys say your piece. And I got some gardening to do, man. So yeah, cheers. Peace out.
We'll see you around, buddy.
Girl love G-Bay.
I'll go. Yeah. I was going to say, you knew who it was because did you recognize him?
Rim shot.
Piss it off, everyone. I'll catch everyone later in the cheap home grow with my fellow grow bees, whatever that show is. I'll keep getting it wrong. I'll catch everyone there later.
Right on. Thanks for showing. Thanks for sharing your extraction and all that with us, buddy. Showing your garden. We appreciate it.
That's all right. No worries.
Sure.
Last but not least, Art Man was able to show us your new contraptions.
The new setup with the mother plant, which is freaking awesome.
If anybody was
contraption is good.
Yeah, contraption, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
No problem. Artman 2Ns 420 _ at Instagram. Thanks for having me, guys. It's an entertaining show. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you everybody for coming. Grower love, big respect. And I'm Crispy Wannabe, and I'm here with Smart Poker, my awesome husband. And we have fun with you guys here every Sunday, and we hope to catch you back on our Wednesday show.
Grower love.
Grower love.